Today is Monday, April 13th, 2020. Today is a B day. We are on ISN page 80, and our objective today, I am taking notes so that I can begin to understand the influence of the Mayflower Compact on American government. I know I've got it when I can submit a picture of my notes on Edsby. And of course, once again, your bell work is to have everything ready to go. And your homework again is to submit a picture of today's notes on Edsby. This is due tomorrow, Tuesday. And our essential question is, what are some major influences on American government? Let's take a look back from last week. Last week we talked about the Magna Carta, which is an important document from England. And then you were to watch some videos and do some optional notes. I gave you page 79 if that's what you chose to do. You should know what push and pull factors are, and you should know a little about the age of exploration with specific motivators being the 3 G's, God, glory, and gold, as reasons that motivated people to leave Europe and travel and discover and find the new world. Okay, so we're on page 80, and we're going to title this Mayflower Compact. And the reason we're calling this the Mayflower Compact is because, once again, we're talking about another document. So what you're going to find is in the fourth quarter, we have several documents that we're going to be talking about. We've already talked about the Magna Carta, and today is another document, another very important document called the Mayflower Compact. So let's jump right in here. I'm going to count down to the 7th blue line on the page, right there. And I took my brown colored pencil, and I drew a line. And the line starts to the left of this red line, and it goes all the way over, almost halfway across the page, almost halfway. And then with that same brown colored pencil, I sort of connected them with the big U shape. And then here I just put some circles. I put 4 circles across. Okay. Then I grab my pencil and I'm starting by drawing 2 parentheses. We've drawn something like this before, so hopefully you know where this is going. So we are now going to connect those. I'm going to put 2 more parentheses right above it. Then some bigger parentheses to the right to connect those. Same thing on the left. Now I'm going to draw a line that connects these together right down the center, just like you see there. Same thing on the right and on the left. So I just took a red pen and added some flags. And then I took a blue pen and I added some water. And the name of this very important ship is called the Mayflower. So let's name this ship Mayflower. And the people who were on this ship came from a country called England. Okay, so let's look at a map here. Hopefully you already know what this is. We have North America up here. We have South America down here. This is Africa and Europe. And in between Africa and Europe and the Americas over here, we have this big body of water called the Atlantic Ocean. And over here in Europe is this great big island right here. It's called Great Britain. And on the island of Great Britain is where you find England. And England, remember, is the country where King John was from in the Magna Carta. In the summer of 1620, there were a bunch of pilgrims who had decided that they were going to leave England and come over here to the New World, and they were headed to a colony named Jamestown. And Jamestown is what is known as the first permanent English settlement in America. And they were planning on traveling on the Mayflower and heading over here and landing in Virginia and working for the Virginia Company in the colony of Jamestown. So let's put that in our notes. They were headed for Jamestown. Now, Jamestown is an important thing you need to know. That it is the first permanent English settlement. It's the first settlement that didn't go away. Unfortunately, the Pilgrims ran into some really bad weather, and the bad weather made them land much farther north than where they were supposed to be. So I took my yellow colored pencil and I put in some lightning to represent the bad weather here. Then I took a blue pen and I added some rain, and then I took my black colored pencil and I just lightly scribbled some scribbles to make it look like bad weather. Right here is Jamestown. This was a colony that was already established long before 1620. So it was established in 1607 and was up and running, and the government was set up and everything was ready to go. The Pilgrims landed way up here. This was not established land. It was not under the control of England. There was no government, there was no military, there was nothing here. There was no buildings or houses or people or anything here. So what happened is they were supposed to land down here, and they landed in completely new territory. You might be wondering, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal was that this new land where the Pilgrims ended up was not yet under English control. They landed farther north, and it was not yet under the control of England. So first they gave it a name. They decided to call this new territory Plymouth. Plymouth. Lots of sixth graders like to say Plymouth. That is not correct. Please use the term Plymouth. So what they ended up having to do is figure out how they were going to live and work together and take care of each other to keep each other safe. Some sort of plan, if you will. So they came up with a document. And so I want you to put a rectangle kind of right here on the page. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 spaces tall. And I still have space to put something over here, and something at the bottom. So we still have space to put notes around it. And this document is called the Mayflower Compact. It was signed on November 11th, 1620, and it was signed by 41 colonists. So what was the Mayflower Compact? Well, the Mayflower Compact was basically a set of rules that the Pilgrims agreed to follow for the public good. So it's a set of rules the Pilgrims agreed to follow for the public good, the common good. This is a significant document because it allowed colonists to govern themselves. And because of that, we get this big idea called self-government. And it's so important that I want you to put a box around it and some stars with it. It's called self-government. This is a big idea you need to know. I always like to put an IE with this because when you take a selfie, you're taking a picture of yourself. So when we're talking about self-government, this is the people governing themselves. So it's selfie government, right? Okay, so the Mayflower Compact ends up being one of the first written frameworks of government in what would later become the country we live in, the United States. That is very important, so let's put more stars with that. And that is our notes for this Monday. I hope you have a great day.